Good morning students. Welcome back to online class of social. Let's continue our lesson, the birth of the United Nations. Till now we studied about the world issues, that is climate change, large scale conflict, inequality, religious conflict, government accountability and transparency. But apart from this, the man-made danger is great danger that created by man itself, that is two world war, and this shown how destructive the war can be. And because of the industrial revolution in Europe, they had made many nations very rich, and they started enslaving the other countries that were poor and weak. In this way, to raise their power, they started fighting with each other. And when they fight with each other, they are joined with the other nation, and in this way the war between two nations became the World War. Now the World War I started, and after the World War I, again the World War II started from 1939 to 1945 because of some causes like Treaty of Versailles, expansionism, economic repression, rise of Hitler's, appeasement, militarism, nationalism. Because of this, the World War II started. Again, after these two World War, there is great loss of lives. About 500 crore lives were lost, and cities and towns were completely destroyed. After the two World War, the people start thinking that because of war there is a horrible destruction, and it is a foolish thing. The money that they spend on war can be spent on the progress and prosperity of the world. And this thought only gave birth to the United Nations organization. Earlier, when United Nations organization started, that time only 50 or 51 countries were there. After that, today it is an organization of more than 190 countries, and it was set up on 24 October 1945, and its headquarters is in New York City. Here also its work is to keep peace and to help people everywhere in the world, and its chief objectives are to save future generation. In short, we can say human rights, economic development, to maintain international relations, equality, area of involvement. They can involve everywhere in the world to save future from wars, and trust territory means to cooperate each other, coordinate with each other to carry out day-to-day work of the organization. These are the main objectives of the United Nations. Today we will study about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The United Nations felt that it could not achieve any of its objectives unless all people of the world had equal rights. It called upon nations to ensure 4 freedoms for every individual. First, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom from fear, fourth, freedom from poverty. So, Universal Declaration of Human Rights is an international document adopted by the United Nations General Assembly. Okay, so in United Nations, so many organs were there to work for different purposes, like General Assembly is there, Security Council is there. Let me show you the pictures of the different organs of the United Nations. This is the picture of General Assembly. Okay, and it is for different purposes, that it is for making the policy of the for different purposes. Okay, that is the work of the General Assembly. Then Economic and Social Council. It works is to for coordinating the economic and social field of the organism. Like that, different organs have different work. This is your trustee council. Here its work is to examine and discuss reports from the authority on political, social and education. That is the work of the trustee council. And this is your International Court of Justice. Everyone know that it is known as World Court and it settles disputes between states in accordance with international law and give advisory opinion on international legal issues. So United Nations have different organs for different purposes. And this is a picture of Union Secretariats that provide the overall administrative guidance. That are the principal organs of United Nations. So, Universal Declaration of Human Rights is an international document that is adopted by the United Nations General Assembly that enshrines the rights and freedoms of the human beings. So, and therefore 4 freedoms for every individual it is given. First is your freedom of speech. In this freedom of speech, we have given power or right to express our opinions without any restriction or legal penalty. हम अपने ओपिनियंस आइडियाज़ को बिना डरे सामने रख सकते हैं. That is called the freedom of speech. Second is your freedom of religion. In this freedom of religion, every individual or community in public or private, they can adopt any religion, whatever they want to accept. Now freedom from fear means that no one should be in fear of their government, armed forces, police who act undemocratically or even their neighbor. Okay, means हमें किसी से डरना नहीं चाहिए, ना कि गवर्नमेंट से, ना आर्म फोर्स से, ना ही पुलिस से जो अनडेमोक्रेटिकली एक्ट करता है, जो गलत तरीके से काम करता है, उनसे हमें नहीं डरना चाहिए. The next is your freedom from poverty. Freedom from poverty means to that we can say in Hindi गरीबी से मुक्ति. To make the world free from poverty. वर्ल्ड को पॉवर्टी लाइन से, पॉवर्टी से, गरीबी से हटाना है. बट फॉर दैट पीपल हैव टू वर्क टुगेदर. Nowadays what is going on? Richer become richer and poor become poorer, and the difference between rich and poor goes on increasing instead of decreasing. That goes on increasing. So that are the 4 freedoms for every individual. Now a declaration called the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was made in 1948. According to this declaration, all people should have equality before law, right to education, freedom of worship, right to employment, equal pay for equal work, the right to live as free citizens, freedom of speech and writing, the freedom to have one's own view, the freedom to travel anywhere one likes, the freedom to marry according to one's wish. So it was rectified on 10 December 1948 and it consists of 30 articles, okay, dealing with an individual basic rights and fundamental freedoms. So according to this declaration, people have certain rights. What are that? Equality before law means all people are equal before the law, whether they are rich, poor, okay, चाहे वो गरीब हो, चाहे वो अमीर हो, चाहे वो स्टार हो, चाहे वो कॉमन पीपल हो, all are equal in front of law. The right to education. Everyone have equal rights to educate themselves. सभी को पढ़ने लिखने का पूरा अधिकार है. No one can say you why you are studying this much. इतना पढ़ लिए, अब क्यों आगे पढ़ना है? It's your wish. How much you want to study? You can study. That is the right to education. Next is your freedom of worship. You can worship God what you like, which you have, in what you have faith. आप किसी को भी वर्शिप कर सकते हो, किसी की भी पूजा कर सकते हो. कोई आपको नहीं बोलेगा आप उसकी पूजा क्यों कर रहे हो, आप इनकी पूजा क्यों नहीं करते. आपको ये एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए, वो नहीं करना चाहिए. ओके, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द फ्रीडम. द राइट टू एम्प्लॉयमेंट. Anyone can do any type of job. If you want to do private job, you can do private job. If you want government job, you can apply for a government job. If you want to do business, you can set up your business. In this way, you have the right to employment. Now, equal pay for equal work means how much work you did. According to that, you will get your wages, salary. Okay, it's not like that. If like people are good means that they will have good salary, and the people are poor means they have the low salary. If they are in the same post, they will get the equal salary. If they are doing the equal work, they will get the equal salary. Next is your right to live as free citizen. You can live as free citizen in your country. The freedom of speech and writing. Just now I told you what is the freedom of speech. You can say, you can express yourself. You can express your own idea without any restriction, without any legal penalty, and even you can write also your opinion. The freedom to have one's own views. Everyone have their own views. सबका अपना अपना देखने का नज़रिया रहता है. For one thing you have the one topic, or one thing you have the same your own views, and some other have their own views, and both the views are different. In this way, the freedom to have one own views. The freedom to travel anywhere one likes. Anyone can travel anywhere in the world. With permission you will travel, but you got freedom to travel anywhere you like. The freedom to marry according to one's wish. To whom you want to marry, you can marry. That is also one type of freedom according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. When the UN was formed in 1945, it had only 51 members. Now its membership has gone up to 192. It has done much useful work for people all over the world. It also helped to prevent some wars. However, the problems of poverty, illiteracy, overpopulation and disease still continue in many parts of the world. Bigger efforts will have to be made to solve these problems. So, I told when earlier it was formed, only 51 members were there. Now it is 192. Because they are doing many useful work for the people all over the world, and still they have to do much to overcome from the so many problems like poverty, illiteracy, overpopulation, and so many diseases were there. Like nowadays coronavirus is there, so that also one type of problem in whole world, and the doctors of the whole world making efforts to overcome from this virus or disease. And if all people together make efforts, we can come out or solve any type of problem. So we have to make bigger efforts to solve any kind of problem and to solve this type of problems. I hope you understood this lesson and start preparing for your midterm and complete your notes. Thank you.